Well, hello guys, ¿qué pasa? What's up? Antonio Serrano here, and today I have a brand new video for you. In this case, I have a video with my top 5 routines with helpers. Not closers, not openers, routines that you have to do on stage with another person. Could be a kid, could be an adult, a woman, a man, could be more than one people or only one people. I'm going to talk about my specific routines, right? And the ones that I like the most with some honorable mentions. So let's get started. Routine number 5 is the egg bag. I love the egg bag. In my case, I use a kid for this routine. Sometimes I like to place the kid on top of a chair or a small stool to give it like a more important figure in the middle. Sometimes I feel that when you have a kid on stage and he's that small and you are that big, it's like the kid is there just to fill the stage, but he has no purpose of being there. It's like, yeah, he's just there. When you put the kid at your same height and he has like the power to do the magic, it completely changes the dynamic of the routine. So I really like that idea of lifting up the kid. And in my egg bag, I do a pretty classic egg bag. I do the joke of putting the egg under the arm, in the armpit. But what I produce from under my arm is a fried egg, a plastic fried egg. Like, oh my god, I am so hot. Yeah, it's so hot in here. The egg is completely fried. So I have those jokes. And I finish obviously with the kid producing the egg inside of the bag. I use a Malini style egg bag. And then I produce from the bag a really big Easter egg covered with tissue paper and tin foil. And I also produce a finger puppet chick, like a baby chicken, right? Finger puppet. I would love to produce a real life chick, right? A day-old baby chicken, but it is quite difficult to do. And I have a lot of gags with the finger puppet, and at the end the finger puppet lays another egg, and inside the egg is a prediction. And inside the Easter egg with the tissue paper and all the stuff, inside there is a smaller egg, like the type of plastic egg that you find inside of a chocolate egg, right? Something like that. And inside that little plastic egg, it's a ring or a sign bill. Sometimes I change the routine over. This sign bill or this ring, we made it vanish inside of the egg bag using a thumb tip, right? So we start the routine vanishing the bill, or a lot of times showing that the bag is empty, putting the bill inside, and the bill changes into an egg, right? Which is quite funny in itself. Then we do the whole egg and bag sequence. I produce the Easter egg, and that's for the kid. Then I produce the finger puppet. I have some jokes, some gags with that. The prediction of the car or something like that. And we finish the show opening up the Easter egg. Inside there is a smaller plastic egg. It's like a big plastic egg. Inside there are some chocolate, some candy, and inside a smaller plastic egg, and inside that smaller plastic egg is the sign bill. I am very proud of this routine. It's a great routine, and the kid feels like the protagonist of the routine, right? He has a lot of moments with the chick, with the finger puppet, and opening up the Easter egg and showing the bill and signing the bill. It's a great piece, a great piece. I was very close to place that routine into my closers, right? But sometimes when I perform this routine, it's not the closer. It's like the second from last routine, right? But I could perfectly close the show with this routine in mind, because it's not only a egg and bag routine, it's a bill to impossible location too, and it's a comedy routine in itself with the finger puppet, okay? So let's go to number 4, my favorite routine, in this case my favorite number 4 routine, which is sponge rabbits. I have very little to say about this routine. It's great, you know, I've mentioned this in other videos. Bob Sheets, in his DVD Bob Sheets Does Hospitality Volume number 1, he says that every time that he had to compete with a fellow magician, he was like, you go first, and he did a great trick, very skillful trick with cards, and then he went to the table and he performed the sponge rabbits, and everyone completely forgot about the other guy. So yeah, it's a great trick. It's not that hard to do, and it's outstanding, and I have performed sponge rabbits for a very big audience, because the main thing, as Mac King always says, the main thing is the reaction from the spectator that you have on stage when they open their hand. Something that I do a lot of times is start the routine with a sponge ball and say that this trick is not with a sponge ball, it's with rabbits. And I do a bobo switch, and I change the sponge ball for the rabbit. The rabbit then becomes 2, jumps from my hand to the other hand, one rabbit jumps from my hand to their hand, and then the baby rabbits appear inside of the spectator's hand. And then I change one of the rabbits back to the ball, and I say, okay, it's impossible to make the trick with the rabbits because they are constantly traveling or multiplying. That's very important to keep in mind the idea of the routine. And the idea in my routine is that I want to vanish a rabbit. So I try to vanish the rabbit, now I have 2. I try to vanish the rabbit in this hand, now I travel to the other hand. I try to vanish this rabbit, and the other rabbit is going to be held by the kid. Now I have no rabbit, but it is there, which is quite funny because I believe that I have vanished the rabbit and it ends up inside the kid's hand. And now I put both of the rabbits inside the kid's hand, and now I have a lot of babies. So I take one of the rabbits, I change it back into the ball, and I say, let's change the ball. And when I put my hand inside my hand, I ask the kid to move the magic wand on top of my hand. The magic wand is a carrot, a piece of carrot, a toy carrot, like a plush toy, but it's a carrot. And I say, no, I forgot, that's the magic wand for rabbits, not for sponge balls. And when I open up my hand, the red sponge ball change into a very big sponge rabbit, which is an item that you can buy, ball to rabbit. And it is great because it's something that is quite big, so it makes the routine play bigger, right? Sometimes I have performed this routine putting bunny ears on the kid and things like that, and sometimes I did the gag of putting the bunny ears, and at the same time I was putting the bunny ears, I had like a clip with a bunny tail, like a white pom-pom, and I put that on the kid's t-shirt without him noticing. So I signal him to look behind him, like, look there. So when he turned around, all of the kids saw the bunny tail and they laughed a lot, right? But sometime, like very short ago, not a long time ago, I decided to take away that. I don't know exactly why, but sometimes you feel like, I don't like this bit, I'm not going to do this more. And as simple as that. But sponge rabbits are great routines. I also have a routine with hair balls. I say that I am like half cat, and I always comb myself with my tongue, and I go and I produce a hair ball. And what I use are some kind of strange rubber bands that girls use that have like hairs around. So it's a rubber band that gets confused with their hair. So I have a lot of rubber bands that look like that, and they basically look like balls of hair. So you can perfectly do a sponge ball routine using those balls of hair, and it's quite funny, right? It's quite funny. Okay, number 3. Number 3 is the miser's dream. Great routine, great routine. It's all about the helper. One more time, the routine that I use for the miser's dream is rubber bags. Rubber bags routine, great. You can take a look at the DVD. It's called A Boy and a Bucket or something like that, and it's great. It's completely streamlined. He just used a purse with some coins, the bucket, and the last production with it, which is a jumbo coin, and it is packed full of laughs and things like that. I have a lot of bits of business and things that I add. For example, I have like a towel to do the gag of clean. It's very important to clean your hands because you have been touching coins and all that stuff, which is not real. The kid at any point touched the coins, but I do the bit of take a coin and put it inside of the bucket, and I drop the coin, and he's like he really produced a coin from his hand. So clean your hands, which cemented that idea of they really produce the coins from the hand, and they clean the hands in the towel, and now the towel is completely dirty. And the towel that I use is a towel that I made myself, and it's not gimmick in any way, right? If you would like, I can make a video about that, or I can give you the instructions, but I do that gag of the dirty hands towel, but the towel is not gimmick. You can use any towel, any size you want, any color you want. You can produce any kind of stain that you want, any color stain that you want, and for me it's quite great. It's quite practical. If it breaks, I can make another prop in a matter of minutes. So I'm very proud of that gag. I'm pretty sure that someone else came up with that idea that is quite similar, but I'm very proud of that. And the other thing that I add to that routine is imagination game. I don't remember the name of the guy that created that trick. Imagination game, which is basically a routine where you start eliminating coins and you mark a coin in one of the sides and you produce that coin that the spectator selected on your hand, and the mark is in the heads or tail side as the spectator also suggested. So I used the imagination game to force the jumbo coin that I produced, which is a €2 coin. So it's quite interesting because when I produce the jumbo coin, I am not only producing a jumbo coin, but I am producing the coin that the kid chose at the beginning of the routine, which is quite magical in itself. So I am very proud of this routine. If you never tried Miser's Dream routine with kids, you are missing out because it's great. Okay, let's take a look about number 2. Number 2, I have Miss May Bill. This is a great trick because it's magical and it is funny, right? It packs very small. You have it here, you have like the marker and the piece of paper. I had like a Monopoly bill, something like that, and I have like $100 bill, and it is printed in green paper. So I have the gag like I have a green bill for you, which is €100 bill, which in Spain or in the whole Europe, €100 bills are green. So when I produce a green bill from Monopoly which says 100, it's quite funny. They signed it, we break it. I have a bit when I hand half of the bill to him and I have the other half, and we break it, and he has the pieces, and we put the pieces in the clip of the pen, and he moves the pen to create the magic. We unfold it, and it's still science, but it is completely mismade. You don't know the amounts of time that adults had come to me at the end of the show and they went like, how on earth did you do that with the bill? It's signed, you break it and now it's completely restored. So it is quite nice. And I use the method from Sean Farquhar's Turn to Pieces, right? It's quite nice, a quite nice routine, completely. And I also combine this routine with Steve Bargatz's I Hate Kids, which is basically 3 wallets, and you try to persuade the kid to choose one of the wallets, and when he chose the wallet, inside is the Monopoly bill, which is a non-gimmick Monopoly bill that I'm going to change later for the Miss May bill, and in the other 2 wallets there is money. So oh my god, you choose so wisely, you chose the correct option, because I got here €10 and here €50. Oh my god, that was great. And now when I put the wallets inside, I change the Monopoly bill and we can go to Miss May bill. So I love I Hate Kids, but in that scenario, it has more of a comedy routine vibe. Then the real magic happens with the Miss May bill, okay? So I think that it is time for some honorable mentions. I have here Cut and Restore Rope. It's a great routine to perform with a kid or an adult on stage, but I pretty much prefer doing rope routines alone. I like rope routines as personality pieces, talking about my experiences, or just as a stand-up, like doing stand-up, doing jokes at the same time that I'm doing the routine with the ropes. So I prefer to do that all alone. Then I have Card to Wallet to Teen. I have talked about my routine for cabaret adult performances, and the spectator signs a card and I skip all the fluff, or for a card to pocket or things like that. The card goes straight to my Molika wallet, which are 2 wallets, and then the card goes to a tin in a paper clip that's dangling from a thread, and I used for that Jay Sankey's paper clip. So it's a great routine, but it's a routine that I perform not that often because, as you can see, I am a family entertainer, so most of my routine with helpers are designed to do with a kid, or maybe an adult and a kid. I also have here cards across. I talk about that in my closers video, and the handcuff escape. One more time, I also talk about that in my closers video. When I perform cards across and when I perform the handcuff escape, which I have performed many times, it's in one of my fixed shows from the 5 shows that I have performed those 2 routines regularly in my family shows, but I perform them with adults, and I love that. I love having routines in each family show that are designed to be performed with adults on stage, to really make clear that I am a family performer. I am not here to entertain the kids while you are doing something else. So I really like the idea of having a routine where adults see that I know how to play with them, have fun with them, so that's great. Okay, so let's talk about my number 1 routine with helpers. I'm very proud about this, and it's quite original to me. I'm not sure. I always think that the things that are original to me are not that original, but for me, from my point of view, they are, because the idea appeared to me like a wall, like Mike Caveney says. So it is animal, rock, paper, scissors. I'm going to explain what the routine is about. I have here 5, I would say like card holders, like the things that you wear on concerts or on conferences, things like that. And they have here a bulldog clip, and in the bulldog clip is a piece of paper with an animal inside. In this case, it is a cat, right? So the idea of this routine is that you ask for 5 volunteers, and I always ask for 4 kids and an adult. They choose any piece of paper they want. They put on the chain. I don't know how to call that. The holder, like the necklace, something like that. They put on that, and now they are going to play rock, paper, scissors in pairs, and we are eliminating them one by one. Every time that someone gets eliminated, we remove the piece of paper, and he has to perform the sound that this animal makes, which are different in different countries. Like for you, the dog is like roof, roof, and for us is wow, wow, which is like the dog is very impressed, like wow, yeah, that's the sound that we pretend that dogs do here. So everyone does the sound of their animal, and the last one remaining, we take a look at the piece of paper, and it quite frequently tends to be, thanks to Jay Sankey and Paperclip, it tends to be the octopus. So something that I established at the beginning of this routine is that the winner of the rock, paper, scissors contest is going to win a balloon figure, and I have like a hamper, completely opaque hamper with the balloon figure inside. And I say to the winner, oh my god, I knew that you would win, and I know that you would choose the octopus. I have no way to prove it, but I knew. Okay, let's give you the present. And when we open up the hamper, I pull up a balloon octopus, which in itself is an extremely funny balloon figure. That's why I chose that balloon figure. And you can feel the audience going, oh my god, we thought that this was like a funny game, we thought that this was like a interesting routine, like oh my god, he's playing with the kids and all that stuff. But when you produce the octopus, they are like, oh my god. And Rich Marotta, which is a great comedy magician, he says that his goal every time he creates a routine is to do a trick without the audience noticing that it is a trick. He loves performing tricks that look like stand-up comedy routines with props. And when the magic happens, it's too late. Like the spectators are like, oh my god, I couldn't see that coming, right? Rich Marotta says that he can feel when the spectators go card mode, trick mode, like oh, they are going to trick mode. Like I'm not here for tricks. I want to laugh. I came here for comedy. So this is a great routine for that. You are giving them like entertainment, family entertainment. I've got here kids, I have an adult, I always pick on the adult like you are going to lose. You have here like a 4-year-old, and the 4-year-old is going to beat you playing rock, paper, scissors. It's quite funny. And at the end, everything has a great result with the octopus. The octopus appears in more tricks in the show. I have a lot of callbacks, and people think that I'm very good at improvising, which is not true, because I know that the octopus is the animal that is going to appear. So I am very proud of this routine. I think that it's going to be quite difficult for me to create or come up with a better routine with helpers for a family audience, but that it's it for now. It can maybe change in a couple of hours. So guys, that's everything for today's video. Please leave a comment, subscribe. Any information that you can give me about this would be extremely valuable for me. So thanks for your attention and your time, and I see you as always in a near future. Bye there.